We then get to Caroline Leavitt, Donald Trump's White House press secretary, who melted down over basic questions that she was asked. She defiantly and angrily told the room of reporters, Trump never does anything for himself. He's always doing what's best for everybody else, which anybody who is familiar with the guy and the people around him would say, what? Isn't this the exact opposite of what is true? Listen to this.
And let me just get to the premise of your question that both of you have raised. I think it's frankly ridiculous that anyone in this room would even suggest that President Trump is doing anything for his own benefit. He left a life of luxury and a life of running a very successful real estate empire for public service, not just once, but twice. And again, the American public reelected him back to this White House because they trust he acts in the best interest of our country and putting the American public first. This is a president who has actually lost money for being president of the United States. I don't remember these same type of questions being asked of my predecessor about a career politician who was clearly profiting off of this office. That is not what President Trump does.
Now, of course, Joe Biden's net worth of, I think it's 11 million bucks, buoyed primarily by his successful books. And the difference between a billionaire and an 80-year-old with 11 million bucks, mostly from his books, we know exactly how he made his money, couldn't possibly be compared. But the really kind of important thing here is, what the hell is Caroline Leavitt talking about? While during Trump's first term, he made a big deal out of how he was separating from all of his businesses. He didn't do it. And then he earned reportedly $1.6 billion during his 4-year term. And Caroline Leavitt wants us to believe everything he does is for everybody else. The entire presidential political sort of experiment with Trump was about what's good for me. I want to make myself an even more grandiose figure. Now, in another moment that now, I mean, it really should have gotten a lot more attention, especially in the context of the now 90-day pause with the China tariffs, Caroline Leavitt says, we are going to continue with a baseline tariff no matter what happens in the various trade deals. She admits here, even if we make deals with China and whoever else and get rid of most of the tariffs, we're keeping a 10% tariff on everybody, meaning higher prices for Americans. This should be a far bigger story.
That the 10% baseline is going to still be there at the end when all of the other details are ironed out?
The president is committed to the 10% baseline tariff, not just for the United Kingdom, but for his trade negotiations with all other countries as well.
Committed to a 10% baseline tariff. That's major news. And of course, it got lost in 100 other things.
Well, permanently, even after the deals are done, like that is going to remain.
The president is determined to continue with that 10% baseline tariff. I just spoke to him about it earlier. Stephen.
Wow. Is that still true? Does Trump know this? Does anyone around Trump know this? Is she wrong? And now what about the context of the 90-day pause? Are we actually down? Because they said they suspended the additional tariffs. So we still have roughly like a 15% tariff left. Is that permanent? Nobody knows. We just have no idea. At another point, a reporter asks about Trump firing the Librarian of Congress. And from Caroline Leavitt's answer, it sounds like she believes the Library of Congress is lending books out to kids. I can't believe this.
The president.
Question, the president fired the Librarian of Congress. Why did he choose to do that?
We felt she did not fit the needs of the American people. There were quite concerning things that she had done at the Library of Congress in the pursuit of D.E.I. and putting inappropriate books in the library for children, and we don't believe that she was serving the interests of the American taxpayer well, so she has been removed from her position, and the president is well within his rights to do that.
And of course, no one is questioning Trump being within his rights. What we are questioning is, did Trump fire the Librarian of Congress under the belief that what the Library of Congress does is lend books to kids? It's the blind leading the blind. They have not a clue what is going on, and they're about to admit defeat on the Russia-Ukraine war negotiations. Let's discuss that. Guys in my audience, I know you're tired of the chafing with traditional underwear. Our sponsor, Sheath, makes the most comfortable boxer briefs I've ever worn. If you're sick of the boxers that are too loose or the briefs that are too tight, Sheath is for you. Sheath underwear is designed with 2 special pouches in the front. Keeps everything separate in its own compartment with extra confidence that you will feel throughout the day, keeping things separate and comfortable, no more sticking and chafing. I was skeptical about the dual pouch, I admit it, but it is game changing. Everything stays where it is supposed to be, extra useful when working out at the gym. And even if you don't want to use the pouches, you don't have to. It is still the most comfortable pair of underwear I have ever owned. It will blow your mind how soft and stretchy these are, made with moisture wicking technology to keep you dry. If you were ready to take underwear comfort to a new place, a place you didn't even know it could go, head over to sheathunderwear.com/Pacman and get 20% off with the code Pacman. The link is in the description.